I'm a teacher, and I used to think that being a teacher uh, was a little embarrassing, just because, mainly because I started teaching abroad, and a lot of the people who are teaching abroad, especially the men, are passport bros. Like, they're people who they were not successful back home, and they are working at these schools where you're not required to have any experience and educational background. You just need to have a face, just because that's what the locals want to see. But that was my start into teaching. However, when I look back on it, I've always been a teacher. Like, whether I was a manager, where I've always been a teacher. I'm naturally a person who imparts wisdom in people. And now that I'm spiritual, and I've, done past life regressions and found my life purpose and all of that, I found out, I'm a wisdom keeper. That's what I'm on this earth for, is to share knowledge and wisdom. So once I got over how something has to look, how your purpose has to look, like, even if you look at your birth chart, your human design, and your matrix destiny, if you check out all of these things, if you are attached to how it has to look, what it's supposed to be, or what it could be, or one stage of what it's going to be, will be overlooked 100% of the time, and you will not feel happy. For example, I love acting. As a child, my dream was, I want to be a famous actress. I want to do theater. I want to do television. I want to do film. And I spent so much time, like, I'm so unhappy because I haven't done that. Every day when I'm teaching, I'm acting. I'm creating role plays for my students. We're acting together. They're learning a new language through theater. I'm getting to do what I love to do. And that doesn't mean that I don't want to still pursue the goal of being on television and film. That does not mean that. But it does mean that there are other facets of the acting industry that I am becoming a master of, and teaching and doing these things. So if I'm an actress and I have my name, now here I am out there, I already can easily transition to being a director or writing films, and or if I'm an author, getting my books turned into films and directing it, and that's extra money because I've been doing this. If you are too attached to what it looks like, you will miss it 100% of the time, that you can be happy in what you're doing. That's the segue. Now, here's the funny part about teaching. Teaching allows me, because I teach children, I teach adults too, I teach all ages, but with kids, I love teaching kids because I get to see who they naturally are without any interference. And let me tell you, some kids' default setting is a little bit evil. I know everybody says all kids are innocent, all kids are, no, some kids default has just a little splash of evil in there. And I, as a teacher, can reel that in. Hopefully. I'm at the grounds. Teachers, you got to be at the ground roots, okay? We can't just put it all on parents, because sometimes parents, they don't get to see that other side of children. They don't get to hear the intrusive thoughts come out. For example, I have a student, I'm not going to say their name, obviously, but there's so many times where, like, he'll say, oh, at school, all the small kids are scared of me, and I will have a bad day, and I stump around and everybody runs. I'm like, you sound like a bully. But of course, as a teacher, I have to phrase this in a way that's like gentle guiding. But I'm sure he's not telling his mom that. He's not telling his mom at school all the little kids scared of him and they run away. But he's telling me that because these conversations come up in lessons that we're being taught, in role plays that we're doing, and he can see who he is and which character he is. Another time, we were talking about community helping our community, and he was like, oh, my mom says you shouldn't give money or food or drinks to anybody else. If they needed it, they should be able to get it themselves. All right, let's snatch that evil up out of you right now, because we don't need no more humans like that in the world. So of course, this became another gentle guiding on how we are neighbors, and sometimes you're up and sometimes you're down, and we have to show love no matter what, no judgment. Gotta snatch that evil out. I tell the story before about the little boy who like tricks his parents into buying him new toys by like, he'll take a toy to the playground, and that he doesn't want anymore because his parents are like, you can't have any new toys while you have these toys. So he'll take the toy to the playground, and then if another kid really likes it, he'll be like, oh, you can have it. So that way his parents think he's just being kind and giving, but really he knows that now that this toy is gone, he can get a new one. I'm not gonna call that evil. That is actually genius. I appreciate it. I hope he continues to use his brain in such intelligent ways. As a teacher, we have such an important role. We already know teachers are underappreciated. That's why I wouldn't teach in a classroom, first off, period. I can be here laughing and giggling because I have my own time, my own schedule. I work for myself. I'm a tutor, and I contract for different companies to teach or put programs into their schools or create curriculums or teach online. So my freedom is mine. So I've done the day-to-day teacher thing. I don't want to ever do that again. Shout out to all those teachers, right? If you need help getting from that to this, please send me a message. I do train teachers on how to become digital nomads and travel the world teaching. But I just wanted to tell you guys, like, it's so funny how much more you can enjoy what you're doing, what your career is, and stop feeling like a failure when that you see that your purpose has many stages to it. There's many levels to it. And right now, as a wisdom keeper, I'm supposed to be guiding these kids. Like, yes, I'm teaching, but I'm also imparting wisdom that's keeping some of them from becoming sociopaths. Clear sociopaths.